I'm just hopping on here to let you know that I'm going to be live in the chat, the Grow and Go chat, for the next hour. So if you've got questions, if you've got thoughts, if you've got prayer requests, if you want to celebrate something that God is doing, then head on over. I'm literally just doing a Grow and Go office hours is open. And I put that in now. And so if you want to kind of engage in this as well, then you can do leave a reply on that thread and get involved. But before we kind of just solely dive into the chit chat with the tippity tap situation, I thought I would just share a thought that I had. It's not a fully formed thought yet, that I had last week. Was it last week? Maybe 2 weekends ago now. I had the privilege of going to watch the NFL for the very first time here in the UK in London. Now, I have got two older brothers, and both of my brothers are massive NFL fans. They support, let's get this right, the Packers, Green Bay Packers with the big cheese. Is that right? If somebody is knowledgeable in all these things, you have to let me know. Anyway, those guys weren't playing, but it was a match between the Jets, the New York Jets, and I should get this because it's where my cousin lives, the Broncos. My hubby, bless him, in the other room is like shouting at me. Anyway, so it's my very first experience of the NFL. Went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, and it was just all the hoo-ha, the fireworks displays at the beginning, singing the national anthems for both the States and the UK, lots of merriment, lots of fun, food and people drinking and singing along. And I got a proper education. Thanks, the Twitter's like, yeah, that's right. I got a proper education in terms of how NFL actually works. Because up until that point, I had been a very ignorant Brit, just going like, why are they just like stopping all the time? What are they even doing? Like, this is so uninspiring. I'm sorry, don't take offense. But I understand it better now. So now I would be happy to sit down and actually watch a game because I understand how the game is working and why there's like a million players and why they keep running on and off all the time and what they're aiming to do. Anyway, that's the setup for my thought and my observation. So before going, because it was all quite last minute that my brother invited me, I thought very carefully about what I wanted to take in my bag. And so I packed a woolly hat in case I was going to be cold sitting in the stadium because it is England and you never know. I packed various, I packed like a Kindle type thing. It's not a Kindle, but like something to be able to read on the train. I had all sorts of stuff in there. Like it wasn't a massive bag, little backpack. It wasn't huge, but there was quite a lot of stuff that I had thought would be handy to have. I had like a battery pack in case my phone died. I had my headphones. I had obviously my wallet, my phone, all sorts of bits and pieces. And then when I got to the train station, I thought, well, we're going to be sitting there for quite a few hours at a time. Be nice to have some nice snacks. So I went into quite a fancy supermarket, which is next to our train station. And I purchased a couple of different snacks that I thought everybody would like, that would be able to pass up and down the line for that moment in the afternoon where, you hit the lull and you're a bit sleepy, but you have to stay awake because you're in public. And so anyway, so we get to the stadium, meet up with my brother and everybody else. Actually, no, backtrack. I missed a beat. So before that point, I hadn't had my phone on me first thing in the morning because I was trying to be really present and I was trying to make sure that I was like just engaging with who I needed to engage with at home and not sit scrolling on my phone. So I didn't get my phone out until I was at the train station. And then I saw a message from my brother saying, oh, by the way, you can't bring bags into the stadium. And the little rucksack that I have had for over 25 years. And it's quite a good little rucksack. And I thought, I don't want to have to dump this somewhere. I don't want to have to take this. This is all about, what I'm going to do. Thankfully, my amazing husband wasn't that far away and he was able to like turn around in the car, come back. And so I had to leave most of the stuff that I'd been wanting to take with me in the car. So I could, all the things I'd planned to pack, all the things I'd wanted, my hat, all sorts of stuff. I thought I can't take it. So I took what I felt were the essentials: my phone, my battery pack with a little wire because my phone battery doesn't last very long, and I knew I would need it for my train ticket because that was on my phone. And the snacks that I'd got to share. I was like, I can manage that. I can fit most of it in my pocket and I can carry the snacks. Anyway, we get to the stadium and there are like the airport security that you have to go through. And they're like, empty all your pockets into the thing. So I kind of put my phone in and keys and all the rest of it and pop the snacks in there. And they're like, you can't have them. You can't take them inside. And I was so sad. First of all, the guy was like, you can just go and eat them over there. And I was like, they were like these big share packs, you know. I was like, I'm not going to stand and in 5 minutes, like, scoff them all myself. That would be crazy. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just have to leave these here. Why am I telling you this big long story? I'm telling you this big long story because it was just such a highlight for what are we trying to carry with us? You know, what are we trying to take with us through life? And are we trying to plan for every eventuality and trying to like bring all this stuff with us when actually, like, Jesus asks us to take more faith and just step by step go with the spirit, go with what he's asking us to do, rather than trying to plan for every eventuality and then yeah, not being allowed to take it with us. And the second part of that was the bigger heaven picture and perspective of like, how much stuff do I go through life, kind of again trying to like collect it all together, trying to um provide for myself or provide for others, whereas actually I can't take any of that with me. I can't take any of it with me. And it might feel really, it might be for a good motivation, it might be for other people, but yeah. So anyway, so that was just the thought I wanted to share with you because it just made me wonder, like, what are the things that currently that I'm carrying around that God's not asking me to carry? And the same for you, like, what are the things that you kind of feel like you've got to grab hold of and keep hold of? And because the thing was, the train journey from once I'd had to offload my rucksack and carry these like packages was quite long. It was like a good hour and a half. And then because it was a game day, like the last couple of trains that I had to get were absolutely rammed. And so I'd carefully carried all these things and then I couldn't take them. And so yeah, I wonder the same for you. Yeah, Latoya has said, and what we need is already where you're going. Yeah, totally, totally. He has everything that we need. He equips us. So yeah, that was my little experience of the NFL. That being said, once we were there, we did still have a really good time. I was a little bit disappointed I didn't have my chocolate to eat in the afternoon when I needed it. But yeah, so all that to say, we can have more chit chat in the Grow and Go Believers chat. I am going to be by my computer. I'm not going to talk for the next 50 minutes. Dawn has, yes, Dawn says that you've been sensing this as well. Love that. Love when God starts to speak the same things through multiple places and spaces and just kind of confirm it in our hearts of like, yeah, this is what he's saying in a season. And yeah, thanks for sharing that, Dawn. That's awesome. So yes, I'm going to be in the chat. I'm going to be online. I'm not going to stay live the whole way because I feel like that would be really boring for you guys. But I did just want to hop on, give you that little thought, and then also give you a little update, a little sneaky peek update from behind the scenes, all things Grow and Go, what's happening. And I can't go into great detail yet, but I have been working on a little bit of something to help us together keep growing and going in the new year. And it's a resource that we will be able to use to keep us diving in deeper into the word with each other, cheering each other on. And yeah, hopefully it will be ready to announce soon. I'm just going to see what Yvonne says. Okay, Yvonne says, this happened to me. So my daughter purchased a clear mini backpack. Yes, I did see people with those when they were there. And I thought, if only I had known before I got to the train station in the morning, because I would have had a clear bag. That was great. There was a chance of rain, so I had an umbrella, everyone says. They wouldn't let me take it inside. I had to leave it in a corner. I guess an umbrella might be a weapon. I love the way you let your story lead into a story about how God doesn't want us to carry things around with us. He tells us to leave things behind and press toward the mark of the high calling. Thanks for sharing. Oh, Yvonne, thank you. Yes. Yeah, because that was the thing that got me, right? I understand that a lot of the things that they were banning from going in were because they could have been weapons. But then I have got it in here. Bear with me. Like I've got something. Just grab it. Here's my flag. Here's my flag from the event. They had these flags on every single seat with like a very spiky thing that you could totally use as a weapon if you would like that way inclined. So, you know, let me have my can of kombucha. But yeah, so that was great. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day on this live so that if anyone wants to catch up, they can, and it won't be hours and hours of listening. But if you want to head on over and we can like chat more about this, what are the things that we're carrying that maybe God's asking us to lay down? Or conversely, what are the things that we're not carrying that actually he's asking us to pick up? Is he asking us to pick up compassion? Is he asking us to pick up forgiveness? Is he asking us to pick up the way that we interact with those around us in a way that's going to honor him in a greater way? So, what are we carrying that we need to let go? What do we need to pick up? All these sorts of things. Oh, thanks. Yvonne says, I love your fun personality. Some people find it a little bit much, not going to lie. But hey, I am who I am. I've been made the way that God has made me. So yeah, head on over to the chat if you are available now. It is about 6:15 here. Next 45 minutes, I'll be around and I'll see you there. Come chat. All right.